should be throwing the bash. I need a woman who'll treat me right. I need a woman who love and squeeze me tight. I need a woman. I need a woman tonight. I need a woman I can call my own. She got the love the blues and she'll buy me home. She'll tie me up at night and make me say when the sun comes up we'll do it all again. I need a woman who love and squeeze me tight. I need a woman who wanna treat me right. I need a woman. I need a woman tonight. Well, my days are numbered and I'll tell you why. All the pretty girls keep walking on by, looking and smiling and winking to me. I got a woman who won't let me be. I need a woman who will squeeze me tight.
All right, all right, all right. It's the Zach Waldman Show, and there's actually people here tonight. I learned my lesson. Apparently, the people that enjoy my show also share my sleep patterns. You know, a while back, I tried doing the show at noon every day. Get high with Zach at high noon. Nobody came. Then last night, I thought, hey, let's do the show a little early. And I did it at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock. Nobody came. It just seems the later I do the show, the more people that are here. And hey, man, if you guys are good with it, when I go back to jujitsu, I might not be able to start the show till fucking midnight. I mean, jujitsu is 8:30 to 10:30, and that's if I don't hang out and fuck around. So at the earliest, my show would ever be would be like 11:30 at night. But I guess that's fine with me. I'm a night owl. If you guys are cool with it, I'm cool with it. But I learned my lesson, man. I thought 7 p.m. I thought, oh, people are going to be thrilled. Lizzie's going to be like, oh, wow, Zach's on at 7. This is great. But no, instead, what is going on there? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, sorry, I thought I had a weird delay going. But look, instead, people are night owls like me. So show's gonna keep happening. It's gonna just be late. That's the way it is. It's gonna be a late night show, which I'm happier about anyway. Hello, Jordan Palmer. Welcome to the show. I know you're a night owl, so I'm sure you don't give a fuck. You were one of the guys that stopped watching when I did the show at noon. So you're always up late. You're my number one super fan. So fuck everybody else. As long as Jordan's here, it's all we need. So my video is going gangbusters, man. Did you see, Jordan? My video about that little cunt who you saw, huh? Yeah, about the cunt that ruined that girl's life. And the University of Tennessee, bunch of pussies. University of Tennessee. Let's see. I'm up to oh man, I just got past over 3,000 views. I was reading some of the comments as I was getting ready for the show. Here, let's look at them together. Yeah, a lot of assholes calling me racist. A lot of people taking my side too. Look at this, 77 thumbs up to 22 thumbs down. Just crossed 3,000 views. I knew this was a winner when I uploaded it. Hey, Lizzie. Let's try that again, Lizzie. I did what I always do, which is I forgot to turn off the desktop first. So I want you to get your full stinger zinger in. And the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Yeah, I'm so used to being called racist. I mean, racist used to mean something. The word doesn't mean anything anymore. They call everybody racist, sexist, homophobic. So I don't give a fuck anymore. They've made the word racist meaningless, which is pretty ironic because if they would do that with the words they're so offended by, in other words, all the words that they're so offended by, if they would just say them all the time, and nobody gave a fuck anymore, like be like, oh, that's just that word I've heard a million times. But instead, they've made it like Voldemort. If you say certain words, if you misgender somebody, use the wrong racial epithet, then epithet, boba epithet, boba epithet. Anyway, if you use the wrong one, then they fucking lose their mind. So it's pretty funny. If you had called me a racist a couple of years ago, it would have been the most offensive thing you could have called me. Now, if somebody calls me a racist, I go, oh, you're just one of those woke assholes that sees racism in a set of tires. So they find racism everywhere, these social justice cocksuckers. But yeah, let's look at some of the comments together. I was looking at them when I was getting ready to start the show. Let's see. I think white people are just scared because after being free to be as racist as they want for 100 years, we're fighting back. Let this be an example. Let's see. It's thumbs down on what should we say to this faggot? Ruth Chi? Oh boy. Let's see. I think white people are just scared. You think uh, all white people are racist? Sounds, oops, sounds racist. Also, suck a dick. How about that? You think all white people are racist? Sounds racist. Also, suck a dick, loser. Suck a dick, loser. And I'll go ahead and capitalize the Y because I'm that kind of guy. Let's see. We could do this together. Let's see. Who else do we got? Here's someone that agrees with me. The slime is biracial. I bet he's used the N word a few times in his life, if nothing else, when rapping. If he was really butthurt about using the word, he better grow some thicker skin. Life sucks sometimes. Yeah. Let's see. Are you stupid? People who are mixed with black can say the N word, but this has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that this girl's set of racist words never faced any consequences made apology. You are racist if you think black people should suck it up if the N word is used, especially with the hard She meant hard R and she wrote hard ER. Let's see. This is fun. I don't usually reply to comments, but it's fun with you guys here to do this together. Let's see. What can we say here? Let's see. People who are okay. People who are mixed black and let's make this all capitals and everyone else can use whatever words they want. Oops, God, this thing is it's just going slow. Intention matters, but you don't. Suck a dick. I'll just end. How about I end them all with suck a dick? Hey, what's up, Frank May? How you doing? Yeah, it's all about intention, always. Exactly. That's what I just said. Look at that. Galligan is a gross, calculating person. Uh, let's see. He'll get his soon enough. Mark my words. That sounds threatening. Let's see. Some of these I'd already either commented on or I thumbs up. I don't know what this guy is talking about. Malicious intent. It's already happening. He limited his account and made one private. Oh, good. Oh, here's a question for you guys. What is Stan Jimmy? What does this mean? What a troll. Jimmy sucks. Okay, Brody. Everything good, Elizabeth? Yeah, great. Okay. What? Who is Stan Jimmy? And this says, I hope Jimmy's okay. What am I missing? Oh, they mean Jim Galligan. They mean the fucking kid in the thing. But who's Stan Jimmy? Let's see. 15-year-old girl who you know loves many hip hop rap songs. Not saying it's correct, but she surely wasn't intending anything negative. Listen, dude, all words are fine. It's just how they're used. Uh, Listen, it didn't used to be that big of a fucking deal. Here, I'll make a point. This is let's see here. I used to play this all the time. Huh. I used to have it as a drop, actually. Here we go.
We keep playing like this, we'll be the laughing stock of the league.
Well, what do you expect? All we got on this team is a bunch of Jews, spicks, niggers, pansies, and a booger-eating moron.
I mean, hey, what's up, Jay? So this movie was rated PG, and I saw it in elementary school in school.
We keep playing like this, we'll be the laughing stock of the league.
Well, what do you expect? All we got on this team is a bunch of Jews, spicks, niggers, pansies, and a booger-eating moron.
How great is that? And nobody fucking lost their shit. So, Bad News Bears was probably one of the most inclusive movies of all time, by the way. Sure, that kid's saying all kinds of racial epithets, but they're all losers. That's the point. They're all a bunch of losers, and they're losers together.
I don't like
What do
him.
you think you are, a catfish hunter?
I used to have such a crush on her.
Who's he?
I mean, the old me, the old me and the old her. When I was her age, and well, she was older than me, but
Boys, I'd like you to meet your new pitcher, Amanda Wurlitzer.
oh no, not a girl. Look at him. I love this is Tanner Boyle. He flips the fuck out. He's like, what?
Jews, spicks, niggers, and now a girl? Robert? Jews, spicks, niggers, and now a girl? Jews, spicks, niggers, and now a girl? Jews, spicks, niggers, and now a girl? Robert?
Wurlitzer.
Jews, spicks, niggers, and now a girl? Robert that, punk.
One of the greatest movies of all
Jimmy.
time. What's better than the original Bad News Bears? Fucking nothing. How's Tropic Thunder been able to stay around with all the canceling going on? Well, how do you cancel it? It's old now. It's like, how do you cancel the Bad News Bears? They can't cancel all this shit. This shit, look, man, it's got to swing the other way. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be profoundly offensive on behalf of everybody who misses a time when people could take a joke. Retro cancel. This is just a kind of a funny story I came across. Check this out. Womanizer, I believe you mean legend, accidentally exposes himself after adding 60 girls he's flirting with to one group chat. This is so embarrassing. This guy was talking to 60 girls at the same time. Well, so what? It just says he was talking to. It doesn't say he was dating. You're not allowed to talk to more than one girl? Okay, he's talking to 60 girls. But somehow he put them all in the same chat group. I don't even understand how you do that. But one of the girls, a TikTok user, she compiled the group chat into a video, and you could see everybody in there, all the girls laughing as they figure it out. And apparently the man in question, whose name is Isaac, only meant to send all the girls a shirtless pic. Instead, he created a group chat featuring the 60 girls he flirts with and hits up on a regular basis. Most of them thought it was hilarious, secondhand embarrassment. Others used the chat to call it Isaac and his apparent flirt. It doesn't sound like he has a girlfriend. What's the problem? It sounds like he's talking to a lot of girls and trying to make something happen. Are any of you fucking Isaac? Because maybe that's why there's so many of you. Isaac's like, I got to put in numbers. If I'm going to get laid, I got to just do quantity, not quality here. And, Jesus, I kind of feel bad for the guy's ratio. Like, I want to know how many of these chicks he was banging. Because if he wasn't banging any of them, then he's just a loser who spends a lot of time talking to girls and not getting anywhere. Either that or he's a legend. I don't know. I like to think he's a legend. He matched with my roommate, then matched with me, was talking to both of us. So I guess on some dating app. We have the yellow heart on Snapchat, has been hanging out, dodged a bullet, I guess. He's insane. Yeah, I don't think he's insane. I think he's a goddamn Legend. How do you talk to 60 girls all at the same time and keep up? I don't know, man. Who wants to listen to 60 different women talk? It's hard enough to listen to the women you love speak. You know what I mean? Jesus. After the girls got a chance to know each other better, a bit better, Isaac finally messaged them all in the group chat and explained what happened. I'm sorry for my actions, he said. I went upstairs, hit a late night workout, had a terrible idea to create a private story to post douchey Snapchats to. As you know, I created the group instead. Oh, man, why is he apologizing? He should have, dude. Everybody apologizes, and it gets you nowhere. No one accepts your apology. Ask Kevin Hart. He apologized, and they still came after him years later after his apology. He's like, I apologized 10 years ago for that shit, motherfuckers. And you're still bothering me about it? You take your Academy Awards hosting and shove it up your pee hole. This is truly humbling. I'm sorry for those who I hurt in the process. Oh, brother. I'm learning from this mistake. Will be a reevaluating my life. Bro, if none of them were your girlfriend, you have nothing to apologize for. If you were cheating on your girlfriend, that's different. I'll be throwing an Isaac roast party soon, and you'll all be invited. Oh, boy. This guy, I think, you know what I think is going on here? I think he's just a really good marketer. I think he hit up all these girls. I don't think he did the group thing, the chat by accident. I think he did it on purpose. And then now is apologizing for it, but then is going to turn around, make it a roast. I'm telling you, this guy is going the long way around to get a social media following. His new account is all going to be, instead of like one of those pickup artists, Isaac is going to be like, "Hi, I'm Isaac, the ex-womanizer. You know, I've started a website to help other guys get out of the pickup lifestyle, settle down, and find true love." You know what I mean? He's going to be like a woke dating coach or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Isaac a moron, a legend, sly marketer? What's your opinion? Or is he simply one of the crew members of the Love Boat? Isaac. What did Isaac do on the Love Boat? Was he the bartender? Isaac the bartender, right? So do me a favor, my friends. I appreciate you all being here. Usually when I have a video that I just uploaded that's doing well, I get some new viewers to the show. If you're new, glad to have you here. I hope you stick around. I'd love it if you subscribed, hit the thumbs up button, hit that little notification bell, and choose all so you'll know when I upload new videos or when I go live. This is your home for politically incorrect attempts at humor. Most of what I say is not funny, but I give it a shot. But this is definitely your anti-woke central type of place. If you love someone that hates the woke crowd, you found the right spot. If you're a fan of what's that thing called Trigonometry? That's a great show on YouTube, Trigonometry. They kind of do what I do. They focus on wokeness and how it's destroying the world. They're a lot more civil than me. I'm a piece of shit. And so if you like James Lindsay, he's like the intellectual type. If you're into anti-woke people that are intellectuals, you got James Lindsay, of course, Jordan Peterson. If you like really sophomoric humor, and if you like somebody who just believes in throwing every fucking retarded thing that comes into his mind at the wall, and maybe once in a while it's funny, you've come to the right place. But again, if you hate the woke people, you'll like it here. And if you like to hear someone say cunt a lot, you'll like it here. But I would love it also if you became a member of the fan club. Go to zachwaldman.com/fans. I'll teach you some easy to do magic tricks, show you how you can win some free drinks with some bar bets. And there's also some exclusive content there that you can't get anywhere else. That's only available for members of the fan club. And There it is. If you are new and you're wondering what kinds of things do we talk about here, well, we goof on trending news stories. We goof on the woke religion. But I also have a bunch of other interests. I like to go metal detecting, but my shoulder's fucked up. I love jujitsu, but it got fucked. My shoulder got fucked up doing it. That's why my shoulder's fucked up. I miss jujitsu with all my heart. I think I might start going with my fucked up shoulder and simply doing the warm ups and maybe doing shit mostly one armed and just telling people like my shoulder's fucked up, you know. But it's driving me nuts. I miss it so fucking much. So if you want to talk jujitsu or metal detecting, if you want to talk sales and marketing or gambling, these are all my areas of expertise. I would say number one area of expertise would be in edging. I have actually not jacked off today, though, which has been surprising. Uh, but usually I put in at least a good solid hour of edging. After I meditate, of course, I'm not an animal. You know, meditate for 10 minutes, edge for an hour. Edging is sort of like a form of meditation, right? I mean, you're definitely very present. Your mind doesn't really wander while you're jacking off. If anything, it tells elaborate stories. I need to look into it, but I guess I've always been a daydreamer naturally, but now that I work so hard at staying present, if I catch my mind anytime I'm always on the lookout for myself if I'm thinking without knowing I'm thinking. I just don't I do all I can to avoid a situation where I'm thinking and I don't know that I'm thinking. And Sam Harris gave this great little tip. He said a good question to ask yourself before you do anything is what I'm about to do worth doing? And if it is worth doing, then give it your full attention. Be present with it, you know? And he goes, that's a really good little test to see if what you're about to do is what you really want to be doing with your life. Like, you're about to play chess with your buddies, and you're like, on chess with friends. And I thought about, okay, wait a minute, before I start this game, is this what I want to do with this time right now? Am I good? Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm good with killing an hour here. Then I'm going to do that. I'm going to play chess. Isn't it amazing how much it can clear your mind or make you look at something in a better perspective? It's meditation and being and learning to be present. Another great thing that Sam Harris said recently. He was talking about how, you shouldn't be so, don't treat your time meditating. Don't be so sacred about it. Don't make it like it's that so important that you're going to meditate for 20 minutes and it's like, okay, dim the lights, turn everything off, get everything perfect. I am now going to meditate. And then you make it this thing that's real important. And then you go out then you stop. Then when your 20 minutes is over, the rest of the day, you're angry, you're filled with road rage, you're frustrated, you're having negative self-talk that you're not even aware of because you're thinking and you don't know it. So he's like, become a little less respectful or precious. I forget what word he used, but stop treating the meditation time as being so special and being and then being so cavalier with the rest of your life. Make the effort to make it a habit to try to whatever you're doing to be present with it. And it's something that takes practice, but the more and more you do it, the more you're happy with how your day goes because you're like, I spent my day exactly how I wanted to spend it because I did all of the things, on my list and I had a schedule and everything on the schedule was the kind of day I wanted to have. And everything I chose to do, I was present with. And if I decided I don't want to do it, by the way, I've done that, man. I'll sit down and go, okay, I'm going to do this. And then 10 minutes in, I go, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tapping out. I don't have to do anything I don't want to fucking do. You know what I mean? And sometimes there's a good reason for not wanting to do it anymore. But then other times I'm like, I can keep going. I'm going to keep going. I did that today. I went for a bike ride and I was cold and I wasn't real happy. I hate being cold. And I was wearing I was dressed warm enough. And once I got pedaling, I warmed up, and I rode my bike to the weed store, got some weed. And then instead of pedaling home, I went pedaled down Rose Avenue to the Venice boardwalk, hopped on the bike path, and then started riding, towards Santa Monica. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go farther. I'm warm now. I feel better now. And this is I need the fucking exercise. And I just kept going. And I went past the pier. And then I got, basically, I got to the Pacific Palisades, and I guess I was just shy of Malibu. I'm not sure. What I did was I just went, you know what? I feel like I want to keep pedaling, so I'm going to keep pedaling. And then at some point I'm going to go home now. And I went home. But I do what I want to, I end up, I just stay present, man. If afterwards, let's see, if afterwards I'm really am not as interested in her as I was before, then I know not to pursue seriously. Oh, you talking about jacking off again? I thought you meant meditation. You're talking about jacking off and then realizing, like, don't bother calling that girl. I was talking about that the other night. I said, yeah, years ago, this girl, she wanted to go out with me. She like was hit me up and was like, I'd really like to go out with you. I didn't tell you the rest of that story. So this is what happened. I have no idea how she knew me. This is years ago. I'm pretty sure she just randomly found me on Facebook. I can't remember. Maybe she saw me at the Magic Castle and then searched for me on Facebook. But she was, I might be mixing these girls up. Yeah, I think I'm mixing two different girls up because well, it doesn't matter. The point is, she was essentially asking me out. She's like, "Would you want to go out?" And I was like, "Okay." And we hung up, and I jacked off, and I immediately thought about what it would be like if I was looking at her now, and I was horrified. And I called her back like right afterwards. I'm like, "Hey, I know we just talked like a half hour ago." But after we hung up, I got a call from a client. I booked a gig. I can't go out that night. And then I just blew her off after that. But I don't think it was the same girl, but there was a girl on Facebook that maybe it was her. This chick was like just, I don't know, 1,000 pounds. She was a wildebeest and very nice, but and I'm sure she had huge tits. And if a girl has, if you put huge tits on like a fucking Volkswagen Bug, I'll probably try to fuck it. I'll stick my dick in the tailpipe. It's my Achilles heel, man. If you got big titties, you own me. You're like, those titties are like strings for a puppet master. I'm just like, oh, big titties. Here's, you're the puppet master with your titties, and I'm all wobbly and oh shit, what is that? I just pulled out my wallet and now I'm opening it up and giving you my cash. Big titties, big titties. I love them. That's kind of funny. I gotta remember that. I think that I could use that on stage. I think. Let's see. Big titty puppet strings. I like that. I think I could do that on stage. If I'm ever on stage again. What do you think, Jordan? You think that's got potential? That little bit right there about how much I love big titties. If a woman's got big titties, I'm like a puppet on a string, except they're her titties. She's working them like this, and I'm just cracking myself up anyway, man. If no one else, hey man, if you ever saw me do stand up, it's pretty much the same situation. I'm cracking up. At least I'm amusing myself, even if no one else is amused. You've heard of tassels, now introducing puppet titties. Oh man. I didn't do it. I almost said so anyway. I'm sure I've said it sometimes tonight. I'm working hard not you got to tell me if I say it. I almost just did it. I caught myself though. Right there. See, there's that pause. So anyway. So anyway. Fucking lunatic. Full of nervous ticks. I was told I was a high functioning neurotic, is what I was once described as a high functioning neurotic. It's probably like Woody Allen, right? Isn't he the same kind of thing? He's a genius, though. I'm a fucking retard. But I didn't fuck my daughter. Never had a daughter. Zach. Yep. I like it. Zach. Waldman. Zach Waldman. For any new viewers, the very first time I ever heard Howard Stern in my life on the radio, I didn't even get the show right away. I was like, why is this so popular? It took me a little while to learn the characters and understand the show. So if you're new to my show, it might take you a little while. Then again, maybe it won't. Maybe this is all you need to see. Subscribe on your way out. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the little notification bell. Choose all. And so, anyway, I didn't, that was on purpose, that one. And so, that was an and so. So, okay, back to the fat girl. So this fat girl, maybe it was the same girl. She clearly wanted me to go out with her, right? And I think she found me on Facebook or something. And when I blew her off, I know, right, Jordan? It's crazy to me that I got fired for that shit too. Anyway, when I kind of blew this fat girl off, she goes on Facebook and she posts something to the effect of, and she made sure that I would see it. You know what I'm saying? God, this is early days of Facebook. But I don't know if she tagged me but whatever she did it so that I would see it. And she posted this to her friends and she was like, so I really want to fuck this guy, but I don't think he's into me. And posted a picture of me. And all of her friends and like all these guys were like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong with him? Like, I'm the asshole, right? And she's like, well, I just don't think, she's like, what I think it is I don't think he's ready. He can handle all of this. And she was like implying that like she was beautiful and big and the whole big beautiful thing, and that I couldn't handle it. It's like, how about we say the truth is I don't want to fuck a fat girl. I bet I could find this. This is so old in my timeline, but like she used to post a lot of artwork that was supposed to be like she posted a lot of artwork of girls that all had the same body types. I think that's what it was. I think she was in like, I think this was like a what is it? BBW? Is that what did they used to call themselves? Big, beautiful, big black women. What wasn't it BBW? I think it was a group of these girls, and she was like, big, beautiful woman. Okay. So I think that's what it was because she used to post all these like cartoons and artwork of, BBWs. And there was always the same thing. It was these chicks that were monstrous asses and giant tits, but they were also fat. Like they weren't, you know what I mean? These weren't thin girls that were stacked. These were just morbidly obese women that were like, I'm big and beautiful. And I'm like, no, you're big, but Utah is big and beautiful. You're just big. So, I mean, she wasn't mean or anything to me. But basically when it became clear that I was not going to go out with her, like, I'm pretty sure that's the one. I'm pretty sure it's the same girl. So I called her back, canceled. I think it's the same one. I could be wrong. But I think then when I didn't make plans again with her, or I just blew her off and said I was busy all the time, she was like, I'm just going to put it out there. I want to fuck this guy. So I'm just going to post it. I want to fuck this guy. I don't think he can handle it though. And when he knows I'm a sure thing, maybe he'll hit me up and fuck me. That's what it felt like. So it wasn't mean or anything. I wasn't mad at her. I just thought it was hilarious, empowering poor health, sadly, not hating on them, do their thing. Look, again, I've got a lot of friends that are fat, and it sucks, but none of them want to be fat. None of my friends that are fat, actually, I take that back. I know this couple. Oh, this was so weird. So, yeah, the people who force it down your throat to accept their absolute horrible hygiene and poor diets. Well, that's a good segue, Jordan, because I deleted the episode. So years ago, when I was doing this podcast, YouTube, when I was trying to do the YouTube thing, I started having people over regularly to interview them. And I had these two friends of mine, and I didn't know that as a resident fat girl of this group, I don't condone that behavior. I, I do too, and I've had serious convos with all of them about wanting them around healthy, never attack them in any way. Oh no, I've talked to my friends too, and then at some point I stopped because I was like, I've said my piece. They know how I feel. They know I'm here to help them. I was a fat kid, by the way, and so I relate. I've had fat family members. I was a fat kid. Uh, but listen, here's the thing. We've made it like socially unacceptable to even make fat jokes. Talk about political correctness. That's another one. It's like, well, you can people. I remember people getting upset because people made fun of Trump for being fat. I'm like, really? You can't make fun of Trump for being fat? The shit that comes out of this fucking guy's mouth. So, yeah, when I talked to my friends seriously about it, it always came from a caring place. But then I got to a point where I realized these are smart people. They have all of the money, support, healthcare, technology, and advice that's possibly available. And from this point on, I'm done. You know. But anyway, fuck, that was a but anyway, not a so anyway. So this girl, she went, like I said, she wasn't mean or anything, but she was just like making it like, well, if he doesn't want to fuck me, it's because he can't handle this. And the so okay, so this couple. So years ago, I had this couple on these friends of mine. I didn't know them real well, but I'd known them around. I won't even say where because I don't want to even tell you if it's from the gambling world or the comedy world or what. But they came on my podcast, and I had no idea that they were super woke. I don't think I even knew the term woke back then, by the way, but I had no idea. And I was trying to talk to them about something, and everything I brought up, they would go down woke avenue with, right? And this is before I knew that this was a mind virus and a religion that was running rampant and the whole thing. This is before I realized how many people are mentally ill, by the way, because I realized ultimately, based on their behavior that night and since then, especially, but since then, these two, they've done several things that were very public, nothing to do with me at all. Just things I've witnessed. And I'm like, ew, okay, well, I think they, they're mentally ill, and unfortunately. So at this time, though, again, this is years ago, I didn't know about critical race theory or postmodernism or intersectionalism or the idea of social justice warriors and woke douchebags, right? And that's exactly what these two were and are. I didn't know that, though, when I had them on my show. And everything I brought up, because, well, that's what they do, right? They see racism and sexism and homophobia in every aspect of everything. They look at a chair and they go, that chair is racist, and they have a reason for it. It's part of the anti-racist doctrine. If you don't believe me, look into it, as Eddie Bravo would say. And while I kept on trying to steer them away from this insanity, then somehow the topic of body shaming came up. And these two tried to defend being overweight. And I was like, well, don't you think it's always better to be physically fit to, like if you want to live a long, healthy life? You don't see a lot of fat old people walking around. I grew up in Florida, North Miami Beach. There was right down the street from a place called Jade Winds. There was the ambulance. We used to joke about how the ambulance just went in and out every 15 minutes because everybody that lived there was 1,000 years old. And it was this big condominium, big condo community. And motherfuckers just, getting hit by cars every day. One of these old fuckers is getting hit by a car, dropping dead on the sidewalk, not waking up the next day. You know what I mean? There are 1,000. That's what you would, exactly what you would expect in a bunch of condos where the median age is 90. Okay. So when I saw all these droves and droves of old people in Florida, you know what I didn't see? I didn't see any of them that were like 7 feet tall, like Andre the Giant or like basketball players. Not a one. Never saw like a 95-year-old dude that was like 7 foot. I don't think I ever even saw one that was, 6'5". It's like the other thing I never saw is you never saw fat old people. You never saw a bunch of all these people that were walking around that were getting hit by cars. Man, their best chance was sliding underneath the car. They all walking toothpicks. They're all skeletons. Shit, a lot of them probably hadn't put on weight since they got out of the camps. You know what I mean? A lot of Jews is what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, all I've ever eaten since Auschwitz is an apple a year, but they live to 110 years old. Point is, let's see, I'm 6'1". Zach, tell me how long I got before death, damn it. I think 6'1", I think you're in a good place. It's a good height. I think the best scenario is you want everything in balance. I think smaller, thinner people do live the longest, though. I think if you're a 5 foot, 5 foot 1 inch woman with great genetics, you're probably going to live to a billion, right? Yeah, no, 6'1's, I think anything, I think for a man, anything up to like 6'2", you're probably pretty good. And I think the shorter the better, but not too far. If you're a midget, they don't live real long. But if you're a little guy, though, if you're like 5'2" and you're a dude, that's not a bad thing in terms of longevity. You probably live a long fucking time. But if you're like, 3'2", well, you're probably fucked. It's balance, my friends. The universe loves balance. Not too hot, not too cold. Not too aggressive, not too passive. Not too tight, not too loose. I could go on and on. Maybe I will. But anyway, so these two are social justice people. They're arguing with me. I'm like, well, of course you think it's healthier to be thin, and they're like, no, that's not true. I'm like, it's not. You don't think exercise and eating right and being thinner is healthier? And they said, absolutely not. I was like, okay. And one of them said, I'm overweight. And I'm thinking, yeah, no shit. And he's like, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like shaking his head at me, like, you really need to lose weight. You need to do this. You need to do that. Because, you're cutting years off your life, and you're going to end up with all kinds of health problems. And he gave me this whole lecture, and then he goes, and then he gave me the tests. And then when I saw him for the test results, or when he came back in with the test results, he was all embarrassed because he said, well, I got to say, you're completely healthy. And he's like, so see that? He did all the tests, and everything he said was wrong, and that I was as healthy as a 21-year-old. And I was like, yeah, for now. Just because you're good now doesn't mean long term you're better off. And they just argued it with me, argued and argued and argued. And the whole podcast was an argument. And I fucking, yeah, because you're 21. That's hilarious, Lizzie. I hate to argue, hate it. So when they I just let them, but everything I said was an argument, even when I was trying to placate them with their insanity. But yeah, you make a good point. It says, Jordan, you said it makes you realize there's millions, maybe billion people, stupid people living among us. And how do they remember to breathe? Yeah, well, here's the other thing, man. I was watching professional 3-card Monte and 3-shell game con teams on YouTube. Guys that do it for real, not as a magic trick, right? And they're fucking amazing. There's this one team that works San Francisco, and they actually show up on a couple of different people's videos. Maybe I can pull it up for you. But they always work in teams. And I'm watching this, and I've seen it done before in Venice. It happens sometimes on Hollywood Boulevard. I always have the same thought. Who are these people that want to gamble, that want to pull cash out of their wallets, like in a crowd on Hollywood Boulevard or the Venice Boardwalk or by the San Francisco Wharf or wherever? So you're flashing around cash. Just in general, do you really want to be doing that? Now, by the way, in the videos that I can show you, some of the people flashing cash are part of the team, for the record. But my point is, there are people that get hustled with this shit all the time. And I can't believe that people still fall for it. And so, yeah, then I was bringing this up to my pal Lou, and he said, well, dude, there's people that still believe in psychics. And I'm like, you're absolutely correct. There's no, and so the good thing is that makes it like, sometimes people will say, poker, it's not what it used to be. The game's gotten much harder. I mean, I've been a live player, 95% of my playing's live. So I didn't have the issues that a lot of the online players had in transitioning. Because I didn't have to transition. I was already mostly playing live. But a lot of the guys that were playing poker online, to play, a lot of them just didn't play live. It was too slow. They didn't dig it. Not enough action. Games weren't soft enough. Whatever, or any number of reasons. Or they couldn't do it because playing live is different than playing online. When you're playing online, these guys have their HUDs, their heads up displays, and they have all kinds of data on the people they're playing with. And they're using computers, and they've got all kinds of, and the rampant cheating that always went on online. It's like, so when online went away, I was like, I don't know. It sucks. I wish it didn't happen. Point is, sometimes people will say, oh, well, live poker's gotten so hard. And it's like, not really. There's still plenty of soft games. You go to the Commerce. If you live here, you can go to the Commerce. And if you really don't think any of the games are soft, well, then drive over to the Bike or Hawaiian Gardens or Hollywood Park. I mean, you just keep going from place to place. You're going to find a soft game. And you realize when people are this stupid that they're still playing, they're whipping out cash on the Venice boardwalk in front of all the fucking scumbags that are out there to play the 3 shell game. I mean, Jesus. Let me see if I can find the, all right, here's one. This is a San Francisco team I was talking about.
I'm paying all corners today. Watch that ball. First one point now, be the first one win.
Wait a minute, you said anybody can play?
Anybody can point to it. Which one was it? First one.
Right there.
Which one? First one show 100, they win. See?
Wait a minute, if I show you 100, I win that?
Show me got 100. You got it. You picked the wrong one, tell her what happened. She lose.
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you now, she's in on it. So you already see the setup, right? He does the thing. Everybody says they see it. And he's like, okay, well, if you think that's where it is, put the money up. And then she acts like, wait. If I tell you where it is, I get 100, and they all applaud and stuff. Well, who do you think's applauding? Another one of the teammates, probably. And I can tell you who's not in on it. These two are not in on it. And this guy is not in on it. And this guy is not in on it. So forget about these 3 and forget about this guy. She's in on it and he's in on it. I'm going to back it up for you a little bit just so you can hear her again. This is, I think, the Chinese guy that's always with him. I believe he is in on it. We'll have to see. I don't remember this video.
Point now, be the first one win. I'm paying all corners today. Watch that ball. First one point now, be the first one win.
Wait a minute, you said anybody can play?
Anybody can point to it. Which one was it? First one.
Right there.
Which one? First one show 100, they win. See?
Wait a minute, if I show you 100, I win that?
Show me got 100. You got it. You picked the wrong one, tell her what happened. She lose.
I got to see who that's clapping. I
Don't
think
tell her to film my side. Hey, if you can't afford it, don't do it.
You got it. It's the middle.
Welcome to San Francisco. Okay, once again, I say don't laugh. I ain't giving away money. I'm gambling away money. Watch that ball. Who know where it's at now? Watch that little ball. A, B, or C. All the way. Which one?
I got you one more.
You can quit wearing man when you win, though.
That's okay.
No.
Which one was
It was the middle one.
Welcome to San Francisco. Show me got your own money.
Take it.
Show me got your own money.
Show me got money. Just
Take
keep
it.
it.
How fucking it's I love watching them work though. You see how he says, "Where is it?" and he puts the money in his hand and says, "Show me you got your own money." Like it's a bet, but you got to put up or shut up. But he puts it in his fucking hand and he's like, "Oh, you know where it is?" So she's, won one and lost one, and he's sure he knows where it is, but he's a smart guy. He doesn't go to the gym. You see this belly? So this is a guy that's spending he's a college graduate. He probably works in probably manages a hedge fund or is a stockbroker. This guy, he knows it's bullshit, but I'm still, the play is strong, right? Just puts the money in his hand. Let me back that up. I just think it's so strong the way he just.
You can quit where I'm at when you win, though.
That's okay.
No.
Which one was
It was the middle one.
Welcome to San Francisco. Show me
Welcome to San Francisco.
Take it.
Show me you got your own money.
Show me you got money.
got-
Keep it.
You
You got
money,
it. Show me you got it.
Show me you got your own money. What? Okay, what?
This dude right here, I think he's part of the team. I have to. He is not, or she, whatever the fuck that is. I think it's a girl. And he is not. But I think this guy, we'll have to look at the other video, but I think he's the third member.
Watch. See, some gonna find and some can't find. Point to it, fool. Watch. First one point now win 100. Which one is right now? Point, fool. Which one?
Little one.
Who said it? Step up, guys. Show me you got your own money, you win.
Oh, that's him. Sorry, my bad. Not this dude. This is who I was like. Now that I knew when I watched the video, I'd recognize it. This dude's in on it. This dude's part of the team. So you got this dude, and the girl in the red jacket. That's the team. And I think it's only those three, if I remember correctly. You hate street hustlers? I love it, man. I love this shit.
Got it.
You lose.
Their sleight of hand, I'll show you another guy doing this. Their sleight of hand is fucking beautiful. I mean, this guy's good, but there's another dude. As a magician, I appreciate it.
What you mean? If it ain't there.
He's got it.
I ain't giving away money. I'm gambling away money. If you can't afford to do it,
Don't do it.
I got you, sir, right here.
Welcome to San Francisco. Watch again. Tell me where it's at now. Who know where it's at now? Who can tell me where it's at now? Watch that little ball. It's going to creep. It's going to fall. Shout it, Cam. Which one is right now? A, B, or C?
Try the middle one.
Can't pay you. Which one? Which one, sir? Which one was it? Lucky guess.
Just point to it.
Which one was it? Watch
Try
again.
that one.
Tell me where it's at now.
That one right there.
Okay, watch it. Tell me where it's at now. Some gonna find it, some can't find it. You hope you find it, I hope you don't find it. Watch that ball.
Why do you hate street hustlers, Jay? And so here, let me show you something. This is pretty funny because this is the same team, different day.
First one point.
Oh wait, no, hold on, that's the wrong
Wait a
one.
minute, you said anybody can play?
Anybody can point to it.
Hold on, wrong one. Here we go. Different day. Different day, same team. You're going to recognize the same three people. Obviously, there's the girl from the red jacket. There's, of course, the guy, the worker there. And our that short Chinese guy, he makes an appearance in here too.
You should listen to her that time. Heisen. Hey, watch this here.
That guy just got taken.
Watch this here. Which one? Man, which one was it? How much? Tell her for 100. I'm gonna give her 100.
Did you see that? That's an old trick too. So she's in on it. When she peaks.
Watch this here. Which one?
That's planned.
Man, which one was it? How much? Tell her for 100. I'm gonna give her 100.
Not that was this one. Why you do that first time, bro? You good? Watch. Tell me what it says.
I think he's in on it too. I can't remember, but maybe the team expanded on this one.
Another 100? No, 300.
Win your money back.
Another 100? No, 3. It goes up. Point to it. Sticks.
It's right there.
Show me 3. Wait.
So there's the girl that was in the red jacket before. She's back in the blue jacket.
I was doing it for you, man. Watch this here. Watch this here. Tell me where it says now. You win 3 more hundred. Only if you know. Which one, bro? Point to it, bro. Which one, sir? Which one?
The one in the middle?
Middle?
In your middle.
You win his 3. Watch. Tell me where it says now. Watch this. Heavy mouth, sis. Watch. Tell me where it says now. 1, 2, 3. Which one, bro?
There you go. I'm gonna see real quick if I can find.
저 사람 처음에는 저렇게 보여줘, 그지?
I'm gonna see if I can find. This other dude doing it. That. Oh yeah, here. This is a good one. So look at the technique on this guy.
Wait.
This guy's technique is awesome. Watch this.
Cash money? The last one on the right. The last one on the right. I got 1,000. The last one on the right. Hey, 1,000. Show him 1,000. Show him 1,000. Show him 1,000. 1,000. Show him 1,000. Show him 1,000. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is getting real, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This one, right? No way. No way. No way.
The guy that records this is a fucking annoying fuck.
No way he's 1,000. No. 2,000. No way. No way.
I wish this guy would shut up. He's like a woman.
That is 1,000.
For the whole 2,000. Which one you say is in right now? This one or this one?
Just watch the technique though on this dude.
What? He's going again? Man, you're crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Shut up, fucking faggot. Shut up. I'm gonna have to mute him. I can't take him. You could just watch. He's so fucking annoying. Again, I don't give a fuck about, and of course he's not working alone either. I wish this guy would just hold the camera steady so we could see the fucking. Jesus Christ. So obviously some of these guys that are peeling off money are in on it, but they eventually do sucker in this guy that clearly is not in on it. See how shell-shocked he is? I don't know. I love watching this shit, but you got to be fucking... My point is, who you would think, who the fuck is still falling for this? That's my point. You go, who in their right mind would pull out thousands of dollars outside of a taco truck to gamble on the three shell game? Like, have you never seen Oliver Twist? Like, hey, I got a recommendation for you guys. If you want to hear, have any of you guys ever seen the movie Molly's Game or read the book? Of course, as soon as anything that's a movie, I just assume most of it's bullshit, right? And if and I was right, of course, that there's, but like all things, right, I'm sure there's some truth in it. But I heard a great interview. If you've ever seen Molly's Game or read the book and you liked it, do a YouTube search for Gambling with an Edge, Houston Curtis. And there's a part one and a part two. And so it's a two-part interview. And he was part of the whole Molly's Game thing. And I think his book is out. He was also a card mechanic. Fucking fascinating. So, and that's free on YouTube. Gambling with an Edge is a really good gambling podcast, except I gotta say, Bob Dancer, I think he's on the spectrum or something. That fucking guy is, he's an odd one. I I wonder if Bob Dancer is a guy that's famous for his video poker strategies. Video poker is great because there's machines where the house edge is very low, like a 0.5%. There's even video poker machines where you, with perfect play, can actually get an advantage. You can actually get like a 1% edge over the house. And there's software you can use, video poker software that you can use to practice these strategies. And that's what Bob Dancer is famous for. Nowadays, it would be hard to make like a living off of video poker. But what you could do, and this is what I've done for years, is if you learn how to play the really low house edge video poker machines, and there's a website you can use, VP2, what's it? Is it VPFree2.com? It'll tell you where the better video poker machines are. So like what you could do is you could play a lot of video poker in order to, especially during promotional times, to gain a lot of comp points and cashback rebates from the casinos. So video poker is a good, like, it's some good low hanging fruit to go after in terms of comps, and it has some advantage over getting comps from table games and craps, which is also a table game, obviously. But there's some advantages. Like, for example, if you're playing video poker, and let's say you're playing jacks or better 9-6 video poker, you've got the house edge on that is about, I don't know, your payback is, I think, 99.54%, I think. So the house edge is less than 0.5%, right? And they're running a promotion so that for every dollar you put through the video poker machine, you earn, a fucking nickel or whatever it is. It depends on the promotion. But you do that and you put your player's card in, and they know exactly how many hands you played, how fast, how much you won and lost. There's no fucking guessing. It's right there in the computer. It says, like, I mean, when you put your card in, it'll tell you, oh, you've got 45,000 points or whatever, and you can always get the information to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to stay. I'm I'm going to put like 8 hours into playing at such and such place. 'Cause I get this great promotion, and I can play video poker with a super low house edge, get this cash rebate, and maybe you get a bunch of entries into a drawing for some big prize, right? And that counts as EV. You know what I mean? It adds, if you're playing at a game where the house edge is less than a 0.5%, but you're also getting a bunch of entries. Like, let's say for every however many hands, you get an entry into a chance to win 100 grand, but there's runner up prizes of a few $100, right? So you play the fuck out of this video poker machine, and you don't win the big one, but you win like a $500 one. And you have a pretty good shot at it because you have so many entries, right? Uh, and so now all of a sudden, this thing, see ya, Lizzie, have a good one. Let me play your thing for you.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
So that little house edge that they had, you overcome the house edge with your increased chance of winning some of that money and also getting cash rebates and comped rooms. All of that shit counts, right? And not to mention, it's a good way to take a break and earn some comps and get some drinks if things are going bad somewhere else, right? Like, let's say blackjack is just going horribly wrong. And you're like, you know what? I'm fucking done with you tonight. We'll do battle again tomorrow. And you go and cool off with some video poker. You know what I'm saying? Also, a lot of times hookers will come by, if you're sitting there at the video poker long enough, putting those max bets in. Boy, I went off a big gambling tangent that I didn't intend. How do we? Oh, I know why. Because I was just making the recommend. Oh, I know. Okay, so I was saying who? Jesus Christ, I went off the fucking rails. Bob Dancer. So Bob Dancer is the video poker expert, and he's a fucking weirdo though. Oh shit! Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, here it is. Here, check this out.
Talks about doing video poker tournaments, which is
All right, so this is Bob Dancer, and he's doing this interview, and like the dude interviewing him is like, how does somebody get good at playing video poker? And he's like, oh, well, I don't mean to turn this into like a commercial, but may I show you a couple of products that do just that? Now, he could have simply said, actually, I wrote books on the topic and I created software that you can use to practice. And so what I would recommend is, right here at the Gambler's Bookstore, if you're in town, they carry my stuff, or go to my website, Bob Dancer Video Poker, fucking weirdo.com, right? He could have done that. But instead, he fucking, he's molting before our eyes. He's 1,000 years old. And he pulls out all of his products one by one and does like a fucking full-blown infomercial. But so in addition to, video poker, he's into storytelling and he's a writer. And so understand at this point in the interview, he's showing one of his books that he wrote, and then watch what happens. You're going to love this.
their own page as to what makes Bonus Poker Deluxe different than Bonus Poker, or what makes Double Double versus different than Super Double Double. And it also gives you the pay schedule and how much it's worth. So this will help you recognize the value of each game. This book also talks about slot clubs. It talks about using the software proficiently.
By the way, the guy is a fucking expert, and all of his information is really good. He's just a fucking weirdo, as you're about to see.
It talks about doing video.
And I know guys like this, and you know what, man? I don't mind that he's a little creepy because I am too, I guess.
Video poker tournaments, which is a different, skillful activity.
I take that back. I'm not creepy. I'm just into weird shit. That's different because I'm not creepy around people. I just want people to do weird shit to my, to me. You know what I'm saying.
Than playing video poker in a casino.
So
Somewhere along the way, I decided that what the world needed was video poker sex novels. Not sure why I decided that, but we have Sex Lies in Video Poker and more Sex Lies in Video Poker. These are, the first one was based in year 2000, mainly surrounding the Golden Nugget in downtown casino. The second one was based a few years later at the Palms Casino. The video poker in here is very realistic. It's both books describe how smart players deal with changing.
Look at his. I love his reaction. I just think it's so fucking funny. Like, and he's like saying, look, it's also, it's not just a dirty book. There's actually useful information here about video poker. It's just, is there anything less sexy than reading erotic literature when you see this is what the guy who wrote it looks like? It's like, I'm sure all of those romance novels that women love so much are written by, like probably written by gay dudes or by like just nobody they would ever want to fuck, probably.
Slot clubs.
We should Google that. We should be like, who's behind, who are the writers of trashy romance novels? Who are these people? That's something I haven't thought of in a long time. Is that still a thing? Do people still read trashy romance novels? They fall for the 3 shell game. They probably do, right?
And limited information.
Plus a little erotica in there.
There is some.
I should get that as a drop. That's a little erotica in there.
There is some erotica in there. I've had more compliments on these books from females than I have from males. But if you're a deacon at a Baptist church, you probably won't want these. But we have 2 of those. The last thing, which in some sense is the first thing, is software.
That's it. It's just so funny to me. It just cracks me up. I was just watching the interview. I was like, oh, here's an interview with Bob Dancer. What's this about? And I'm watching it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Here, okay, let's do a story. It's from Business Insider. Governor Cuomo wants to give people recovering from drug addictions who live in crowded housing COVID-19 vaccine priority. Republicans are furious. Well, I'm not a Republican, but I'm pretty furious. Are you serious? At least I'm sure my governor will do something equally stupid. It seems like Cuomo and Newsom keep trying to out-stupid one another. This is written by Joshua Zitzer. This poor guy. Why wouldn't you change your name, sir? Zit. Joshua Zitzer. I bet this guy's always had impeccable skin because he knew that if he ever had a blemish, he'd be like, hey, Zitzer. And he was like, it can never happen. He probably didn't go to school some days. He took sick days to avoid going to school with a pimple. Probably a male model. That's the only way. Then again, where's his profile picture? Oh, man, this guy heard every version of every pimple joke you could imagine, the poor bastard. Look at this guy. Cuomo. Let's just read this stupid. Well, you know what? We'll just do the highlights. That's all we need, right? Cuomo said people recovering from drug addictions in New York will get vaccinated this week. They'd be prioritized because they live in problematic shared accommodation. Well, you know what? Maybe they should have made better life choices. What the fuck? Republican lawmakers expressed their outrage. People recovering from addiction are being prioritized over some senior citizens and healthcare workers. By the way, are we surprised that the dispensing of the vaccine is going off horribly? You're hearing people like, I don't like the squad, but I had to agree with Elon Omar. Sounds like a name out of Star Wars. When she criticized AOC, which another, I always think of AOL anyway, for getting a vaccination. It's like, dude, you're like 12 years old, you're perfectly healthy, and you're taking the vaccine ahead of healthcare workers and people that are 1,000 years old. You could have given that to someone's grandfather, you selfish cunt. Representative Elise Stefanik called Cuomo an absolute disgrace. I agree. Rick Scott followed suit, accusing the governor of failing the people of New York. Yup. The Office of Addiction Services and Support said drug users were being stigmatized. Yeah, that's what you do with people that fuck up their lives. I've fucked up my lives at times. I was stigmatized, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be stigmatized anymore, so I'm going to stop fucking up my life. Then I stopped fucking up my life. Those at not everybody can do it, Zach. I know not everybody can do it. I'm a high-functioning eccentric. I get it. Those at high risk of COVID should be vaccinated in line with other high-risk populations. Jesus. Cuomo revealed in a press conference people recovering from addiction will be among those in New York vaccinated against COVID-19 this week. Blah, blah. So, we got the Cliffs Notes. If you want to read the details, here it is from Business Insider. But the vaccine rollout plans mean residents and staffers in state-run and privately operated rehab across New York will get jabs this week. Good for them. Let's go ahead and look at her Twitter real quick. This is that Representative Stefanik, which I probably don't even like her. I don't like any of them, but doesn't mean I can't agree with this. The worst governor in America streak continues, this time prioritizing vaccine for drug addicts over tens of thousands of seniors who've been homebound since the start of the pandemic. Absolute disgrace. I agree. What is this? Let's see what the... Gotta love those compassionate conservatives. Those who are recovering from their addictions are people, too, living closely together to fight their disease. Can we please put disease in quotes? I'm sure the mothers and fathers of some of the hardest hit in the addiction crisis appreciate your tone deafness. No. I don't know. Sorry. Just because they're all living together. No. Sorry. Senior citizens are all living together, too. This is funny. I dispute your characterization of Cuomo as the worst governor in the U.S. I think Newsom of California nailed that title some time ago. That's what I was saying. It's a battle of who's the worst governor, Newsom or Cuomo. It's too bad that in this day and age, there's still people who refuse to think of addiction as a health issue and choose to stigmatize. Look, a lot of people very close to me have dealt with these issues. I'm empathetic to it. I really am. I have people in my life to this day that battle addiction. Heroin, coke, alcohol. Some of my most fun friends, by the way. Anywho, point is, I do empathize, but if we're going to prioritize, you still have to say, well, you got to take some level of responsibility for the way things turned out, whether or not you have a predisposition genetically to be a drug addict. That sucks. But, it's not like the information wasn't out there for you to go, hey, if it's a disease, Like how bad would you feel for somebody if they had pneumonia and you're like, what's wrong? Well, I have pneumonia. Well, you should go to a doctor. It's a disease, man. Yeah, well, there's a treatment for it, and they just don't go. It's like federally decriminalize it, set up community centers for people to use it, get help when ready. Several countries tried it, dropped addiction population in half after 5 years. Jordan, I've been screaming that for years, brother. You know me, I'm a small L libertarian. I think the war on drugs is one of the most obscene things. I think when history looks back at the war on drugs, it's going to be like, wow, it was so obvious to so many people, yet it was allowed to continue this insane uh, war on people's rights to control what they put in their body and to control their thoughts and how they feel, because that's what a drug does. It's you do a drug and you have thoughts that you wouldn't normally, you affect your consciousness, which that seems like a pretty inalienable right to me. And you might affect things in a tactile sense. And it seems like these are all things that you should be free to do. And I've done plenty of drugs, and I know I have plenty of friends that have done plenty of drugs who are not addicts, never became addicts. And except for one time in Mexico, I don't think, maybe both times in Mexico, there was a couple of times I would take back. But other than a couple of times, uh, almost every time I ever did anything that most people would call a drug. Well, fuck, there's still faggots out there that think weed's a drug, for crying out loud. They they don't understand that alcohol kills more people than all the illegal drugs combined. Yet they still justify it. I'll go, oh, it's a shit drug. Well, it's a great drug. Yeah, look, I do it. I drink. You know, I'm not saying I don't do it. I'm just saying it's the worst drug. I think it's hilarious that you look down on potheads as you drink whiskey. I just think that's hilarious. You know, but whatever. Keep thinking weed's a drug. I'm going to keep smoking it. But I'm going to smoke some more right now, as a matter of fact. I'm going to pack me a bowl. I've been getting this stuff called Dime Bag. It's pretty good. I miss my friends at THC Design. I hope I get to see them soon. And blah, 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 blah. All right, just getting my grind together here. So, whatever. What is this? You're still complete trash. GOP betrayed America. Nothing in trash except the least. Boy, everybody's so divided. I thought this would be something that I didn't think this would be a right wing, left wing thing. Everybody, group living, yeah, but what about seniors who are living together? So all the people that are 70 plus who are living together, they why don't they get it? Why would you give it to drug addicts first? That's a good one. I think what she's saying is the vaccine should go to politicians and then the wealthy after they let it trickle down, kind of like their tax plans. That's a good one. I like that. All right. Enough of that. Do. Oh, I guess. Here, let's see if there was anything real quick that I wanted to. Come on. Am I going too quick for you now? There we go. Let's see. Rick Scott. Cuomo's once again failing the people of New York. We should be making sure senior citizens, those most vulnerable Americans on the front lines combating this virus, get priority for the vaccine. Is that her? She's pretty hot. Thin lips, though. Good sized forehead. I wonder how big her titties are. A spokesperson said, unfortunately, there continues to be a stigma against those in recovery when it comes to equal access to health care. These individuals deserve the same access to medical care as everyone else. Those at high risk of COVID should be vaccinated with other high risk populations. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Skitty bop, 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 bop. War on drugs, too big of a big business for those assholes to stop. But DEA, NARC agencies, level CIA, need them to stay illegal, sadly. Government speaks highly on freedom, stomps out many freedoms that make you think outside the box. Heaven forbid, get high and spark an idea on how to do something better, write a joke or paint. Oh, let me tell you something, bro. Look what they did to the poker economy. Online poker was thriving. There was TV shows. It had never been more popular. And they just came along and shut the whole fucking thing down. And this is it's just, if you do come up with something like, okay, let's say you come up with an app like Uber, they get involved in that. You come up with anything, you fucking, if it gets too big, too successful, makes too much money, you're gonna get fucked. Eventually the government's coming for you. seems almost inescapable for people. That's why I stay completely broke. So that way there's nothing to come after. Come get me, government. All you're going to get is a lot of fucking magic books. What did they do? What was their reasoning? What did I just say? What was I talking about? We was talking about the I was talking about poker. Oh, okay. Are you saying you don't know what happened to? You don't know the story of online poker? Ew. They, out of the fucking blue, that's, dude, you should just go watch a whole documentary on it. Long story short, they shut it down out of the blue. Everything was going great. All of a sudden you showed up at the Full Tilt Poker website, and the front page was like, this website's been seized by the federal government. And luckily I hardly had any money in there, which way later I ended up getting back because I think somebody else bought that debt and cashed out the players what they were owed or something like that. How many people lost shit tons of money? A lot. But not only did they lose a ton of money, they eventually, I think everybody got it back, I think. But all kinds of bad things came out of it. One of the poker players that I was pretty friendly with, and I would still be his friend, I just haven't seen him since this all happened. There's a well-known poker player named Chris Ferguson, and he would hang out at the Magic Castle sometimes. And he was involved in the Full Tilt scandal, because what happened with Full Tilt was that they commingled the players' funds with the company funds. should have been separate, right? So you have the players all have their accounts. You never touch those. The money you make comes from raking the game, right? So you get a percentage of each pot. And so you take your profit and that goes in your account for your business and you pay your employees and advertising, that kind of stuff, right? But you don't touch the players' accounts. Well, that's not what they did. They commingled the funds and, it was Howard Lederer and the guy, I forget the name of the other guy that was involved with it. You have to have a certain amount set aside to cover winnings at all times to cover it. Absolutely. But you shouldn't even be touching it. In other words, let's say you deposit $2,000 into your poker account. The way the casino, the online poker room or any casino makes money is, well, there's a few ways. They either charge you for your time. So they say for every 15 minutes of play, you pay a fee. That's one way, time, like a time charge. It's not that common anymore, but that's possible. Another way is to say, we're going to take a percentage out of every pot. And that's, the rake up to a certain percent. Like they say, we're going to take, 5% up to $3 or whatever the fuck it is. Right. But they take that amount. There's also what they call a drop, where no matter how much is in the pot, they're just going to take out a certain amount. They're going to say, all right, once if the cards are out and everybody folds, then like at the Commerce, like at a lot of LA rooms, if you're playing, let's say you're in the blinds and it gets folded to this and all the way around, usually the small blind isn't going to raise the big blind. He's just going to say, you chop, and usually decide this right when you sit down. Hey, you guys chop, then we always chop. You decide ahead of time that you're always going to chop because it saves both of you money. Otherwise, if you play the handout, it's heads up. There's no money in the pot after the drop. So everybody folds, you guys throw your hands in, and then you chop the leftover and it costs you like $1. So the point is, on an online casino, they're taking either a percentage or a drop or a time charge, right? And let's see, Zach Stone, the huge casino owners like the Fertitta brothers, Donald Trump, Steve Wynn, Sheldon Adelson, getting killed at brick and mortar casinos, so they gave Republicans cash to kill it. I never didn't say that, Dub. What are you talking about? That wasn't the question. It's nice that you haven't been here in a long time and then you finally show up and you're immediately a dick. He didn't ask me. Yeah, but that wasn't his question. He said, I was telling him about the Full Tilt scandal of them commingling funds. I didn't say that that's why they shut down online poker. He said, are they supposed to keep players' funds in a separate account? And I was explaining to him how they make money. They take money by taking a little bit out of each pot. They should, and then, the money that the players have should never be touched. That stays in your account and it shouldn't be touched. So what they did was, Full Tilt didn't know that that online poker was about to be shut down. Everything Dub said is correct, by the way. When you asked me what happened with online poker, I said watch a whole documentary on it because it's pretty fucking fascinating, but it sucked. But what happened was Full Tilt didn't know that the government was one day just going to pull the fucking plug on online poker. And when they pulled the plug and the players were like, give us our money, they didn't have the money to pay the players because they commingled the players' funds with the funds of the company. And one of the partners in Full Tilt was like, siphoning off the money, gambling it away. I forget what he did with it. He was stealing in some way. I can't remember the guy's name. It was Howard Lederer and Chris Ferguson. I don't think really had knowledge of what had happened. I don't think Chris Ferguson knew that Full Tilt wasn't keeping the players' money separate from the companies. I believe Howard Lederer did, but Howard Lederer's partner, he was the guy that was stealing from the company. It's been so many years. If you remember the details of what happened with Full Tilt, you feel free to step in on that one. I don't remember a lot of these details because it was years ago. That's another documentary you could look up. Just look up Full Tilt Poker Scandal. So the point was that when the government shut everything down, they didn't have the money to pay the players, and then I think it was Poker Stars came along and bought all the debt up and then paid us all out. And I eventually everybody was able to get their money back. But I think it was Poker Stars that bought it all up. There you go. All right, let's go fucking play on Twitter. No, I had no idea, man. Yeah, but I would watch. I swear, just go on YouTube, type in Full Tilt Poker Scandal, and type in online poker documentary. Online poker is still happening, but it's nothing like what it was. First of all, you have to live in a state where it's legal. So like it's legal in Nevada, but and some states have reciprocal relationships. Online sports books are legal in certain states. They're legal in New Jersey, so New Yorkers drive across the fucking river. They from New York City, they drive over to New Jersey, park their cars, get on their apps, and place all their sports bets because it's like all with GPS and shit. So if they cross into the fucking state, they can place bets. They fucking treat us like children, man. We have a government that instead of fearing us, we fear, and they treat us like children. Did you hear that? Fauci lied again, by the way. Remember when Fauci lied about, don't wear masks, they don't help at all. Then he said, okay, well, they do help, but we didn't want to tell you that because we didn't want to scare everybody and we didn't want everybody buying up all the masks when we needed them for frontline workers. So why don't you just tell people the fucking truth, you fucking asshole? And he just did it again. He said, fuck, what was it? I'm going to have to look it up. Now, I can't believe I'm going to forget. But he just fucking did it again. Let's see. And it was the let's see here. Okay, this is Fauci lies about admits government lied about masks to preserve supplies. That's from Rising on the Hill. Was it Fauci that lied again, or was it fucking? Let me see here. Because maybe it was a different politician, but it was the same fucking reason. Was it Newsom or fucking Cuomo? Hold on, I'm gonna find it for you. But some other douchebag. It was either Fauci for the second time or some other cunt. Again, lied and said, well, the reason we lied is because we were worried people would do fill in the blank. It's like you keep lying to us because you keep treating us like children and you think we can't handle the fucking truth. So no one believes you now. Let's see. This sucks. I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm gonna try to find it for you. Da, 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 da. Somebody, let's try that.
Good morning, Riser.
Hello.
His book, Trade.
Hello. Stop it. Oh man, today's already. I'm looking too far back. I forget. Today is it? It's almost New Year's Eve. Yeah, I went too far back. I think it would have been. Okay, I don't need the music. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Oh, what I should probably do. I know what I should do. I should look at my own fucking history. That's what I should do, yo. It's going to take me a minute, but I'm talking shit and I want to back it up. You know what I'm saying? The problem is I watch a lot of fucking YouTube videos. It's kind of depressing, actually. I look and I'm like, holy fuck, how many of these how much of your life are you spending on YouTube? It's a lot. It is a lot. All I got to tell you, man, all I'm doing is no, I did a video about Dr. Burke's quitting. I did a video about that. This wasn't that. This was another case of them lying to us and saying, well, okay. By the way, they said the same thing about alien life. Oh, okay. I let's see. It might have been. I think it was Fauci a second time, and I think it was about herd immunity. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I found it. It's gonna go a little. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. So here, I'm gonna show you a little. And by the way, this is one of the best sources of really good news that I have found is Rising with Crystal.
So Dr. Fauci has been facing some questions in recent days about why over the course of the pandemic, he has changed his estimate over what percent of the population would need to be vaccinated against coronavirus before we would have herd immunity. This is from the New York Times. They say in the pandemic's early days, Dr. Fauci tended to cite the same 60 to 70.
By the way, I have an insane crush on Crystal Ball. She's so fucking hot.
Percent estimate that most experts did. About a month ago, he started saying 70 to 75% in TV interviews. Last week in an interview with CNBC News, he said 75, 80, 85%, and 75 to 80 plus percent. So he's been edging up the number from 60% now all the way to
I do a lot of edging.
85%. And Rachel, the justifications he's giving with this are incredibly sketchy. I mean, basically, he's admitting that he didn't think the public could handle the reality of how high an immunity rate you would have to have within the population before we could, quote unquote, get back to normal. In a telephone interview, he acknowledged that he'd slowly but deliberately been moving the goalposts. He said he's doing it partly based on new science and partly on his gut feeling that the country is finally ready to hear what he really thinks. Hard as it may.
Do you believe this shit? I'm not going to play this whole thing because it's almost 10 minutes long, but I recommend you check it out. It's Rising with Crystal and Sagar. I always have trouble with his name. It's the Hill Crystal, and this one is titled. I'll give you the link too, but it's titled "Crystal and Rachel." Fauci admits he lied to Americans on herd immunity. Is the vaccine going to help control this thing with that new strain already infecting vaccinated folk? I don't know. But they also said that you need to get like 2 vaccinations because apparently the first one is like gives you 50% protection, and then you have to have a second one that takes it up over 90 because they're talking about people who have gotten the vaccine and then still got fucking COVID. So you getting the feeling they're never letting us out.
Maybe to hear, he said he believes it may take close to 90% immunity to bring the virus to a halt. He got pressed on this. Dana Bash actually pressed him on this over the weekend. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
We have to realize that we have to be humble and realize what we don't know. These are pure estimates, and the calculations that I made, 70, 75%, it's a range. The range is going to be somewhere.
Why, if you don't know, why not, isn't it okay just to say, I don't know? You know, wouldn't it be hard to say, hey, motherfuckers, guess what? I don't know. Nobody really fucking knows. All we could do is do the best we can and see how long it takes us. And we'll tell you what the numbers are and what the numbers are. And fuck, man. I think open everything up and let people make decisions on their level of comfort. He says 90% because only half the country polled say they want the vaccine.
Between 70 and 85%. The reason I first started...
I'd like to blow a load on this girl. She's not really my type, this chick on the left. Crystal Ball's my girl. But this one right here, I don't know. If she was getting banged really hard, definitely by a black guy. I want to see a black guy just bang the fuck out of her. That'd be cool.
Started saying...
I want to see a black guy stick his dick down Fauci's gullet, too, while we're at it.
70, 75. I brought it up to 85. That's not a big leap to go from 75 to 85. It was really based on calculations and pure extrapolations from measles. Measles is about 98% effective vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine is about 94, 95%. When you get below 90% of the population vaccinated with measles, you start seeing a breakthrough against the herd immunity. People starting to get infected like we saw in the upper New York State and in New York City with the Orthodox Jewish group when we had measles outbreak. So I made a calculation that COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, is not as nearly as transmissible as measles. Measles is the most transmissible infection you can imagine. So I would imagine that you would need something a little bit less than the 90%. That's where I got to the 85.
Rachel, what do you make of all this?
Well, look, I think that this whole COVID-19 pandemic has shown us that people are willing to give a lot of grace to public health officials and put a lot of
Is there any chance you want to kiss Crystal for me? That would be awesome. I wish you were there and you and Crystal could kiss each other. I love you.
Trust in them. You know, polling has consistently shown, that Americans take COVID-19 seriously, that they are willing to alter their lifestyle because of it. But pandemic fatigue is also real. And I think you just add to it when you constantly have these same medical professionals coming out and say, well, we just need to do this to get to outcome X.
It's the Wall Street Journal. It's clippings from the Wall Street Journal on our wall. I wonder what that's about.
And then you reach it, and then it's, just out of reach again, and then it's just out of reach again, and then
That's how I feel about you, baby. You're just out of reach again and again over there on Zoom.
Start tuning people out. And I think that's the real fear here, is that when you keep moving the goalposts, people are just going to stop listening to public health officials at a time when maybe they need to still be listening to them. And moreover, this is not going to be the last pandemic that we have, right? We live in a globalized world. We are going to see infectious disease.
They keep saying that now, by the way. They keep saying that this is a test run for the big one, that this is going to happen again, and this ain't shit. And it's like, really? It's starting to feel like you guys know something already. It sounds like I'm starting to believe all the conspiracies, I swear to God. starting to seem like you really want to just fuck us up.
Diseases come around again. You are public health officials.
Rachel, I love you, baby, but I miss my girlfriend, Crystal. Crystal, can I see you?
Are eroding a bank of trust that people have placed in them, so they may not be as willing to listen in the future. And I think that's really ultimately the most concerning outcome here.
All right.
That is exactly right. And
Hey,
just to give you a little bit more of his justification here, and again,
oh, I'm gonna give you a lot more, Crystal. A lot more.
this is from the New York Times. He says, when polls said only about half of Americans would take a vaccine, I was saying herd immunity would take 70 to 75%. Then when newer surveys said 60% or more would take it, I thought I can nudge this up a bit. So I went to 80, 85. Like, it's not your job to read polling of how you think the American people feel and what you think they can handle. It's your job to tell people the facts and the science as best we can figure. And if it's a range
and the fact and the science is, baby, I love you. You don't know. You and I belong together, Crystal. Trust me. It's a fact, and I can show you with a calculator and a pen and pencil and paper and hieroglyphics and a protractor.
there's a need for humility to say, look, it could be 65%, it could be as high as 90%, it's somewhere in that range.
It could be 69%, Crystal.
We don't know exactly, then say that. But it reminds me so much of the early days of the pandemic when we got this whole song and dance about, oh, masks don't really work.
That's what I was saying. This is the second time he did it. Before with the masks.
Run out and buy them. They may actually make things worse. You may be more likely to contract the illness if you wear a mask ultimately. And then we learn, why were they saying that when they knew the truth that masks were in fact, they do in fact work. They do in fact help you prevent from getting sick. It's because they were afraid that people would have a run on masks and they would keep them from getting from frontline healthcare workers. Well, look, I understand that impulse and that instinct, but you have to trust people with the information. And that misstep from the very beginning of just flat out lying to people about the efficacy of masks helped to create the whole politicized nature of the stupid mask debate and began to erode trust in public health officials, just as you're saying. And to me, this is the exact replay of that approach of like, look, I know the truth, but I don't think the American people can handle it. So I'm going to handhold them and feed them the information that I think they want to hear and can handle hearing, rather than what the actual truth and facts and science of the situation are.
Yeah.
God damn, I love her. What a woman, right? Fuck yeah. So awesome. Point is, they just keep lying. They don't care about us. Uh-oh. Is Jay still here? Look at this, Jay. Las Vegas locally top UNLV basketball commit Zion. Fuck, man. I'm a Z, and you're fucking up our names. You're not a Zach, you're a Zan? What the fuck are you? Zion? Well, he's not doing anything anymore. Zion Collins was involved in a deadly DUI today. So it sounds like he's not going to UNLV. I mean, I'm sure he's fine, but whoever he killed. The wording of this tweet's ambiguous. I want to make it clear for anyone coming across that Collins was the perpetrator, not the victim. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, are we sure that... Wow. So let's check out the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I swear I'm more interested in Las Vegas news than I am in Los Angeles news. Well, this guy just fucked his whole life up, huh? Let's see. He was driving a Challenger. He had some get the fuck off. Non-life threatening injuries. The driver of the Accent. What kind of car is an Accent? Ford Apache. Let's see. A Hyundai Accent. So, 52-year-old Las Vegas man taken to Spring Valley Hospital but died while being transferred to Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center. Poor man. Jesus Christ. He was trying to make a left turn. The Challenger struck it. He suspected of speeding, showed signs of being impaired, booked on suspicion of DUI above the legal limit, resulting in death, and reckless driving resulting in death. Scheduled for court Thursday. Fuck. This poor fucking family. Fucking awful. So, let's see. How about what's going on in Vegas news? Has UNLV had a team since the early 90s? Well, this guy says UNLV athletics is cursed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about their athletics. I'm not a sports guy, you know? Although I've been listening to tons of information about sports gambling lately, learning about it, you know, it's something I'm interested in, but I don't really watch sports except for MMA. Watch all the, a lot of UFC. Fucked up, man. It's horrible. All right. According to this, if your heart stops and EMTs are unable to achieve return of spontaneous circulation, you will no longer be transferred to the hospital in LA. There is no capacity due to COVID-19. All right, let's see what this is saying. They're really trying to.
It has happened.
They're trying to scare the fuck out of us now.
It has happened. This is what every medical professional has been worried about since day one of this pandemic. And here in Los Angeles, it has happened. What this tweet is saying is that OOH, out of hospital arrests, cardiac arrests, heart attacks, strokes, accidents without field return of spontaneous circulation, so without resuscitation, now are not being transported to hospitals. These poor patients will be pronounced dead at the scene because there are no hospitals, there are no beds, there are no medical personnel available to help them because they are so overrun by COVID. So as we go into this new year tomorrow, please stay safe, please stay home. Yes, even you young people who are low risk when it comes to COVID, because if God forbid something happens, you may not get the medical attention that you need. It has happened. This is what every medical professional has been worried about since day one of this pandemic.
This makes me think I could fall off my bike, get injured, need to go to the hospital and not be able to. Why the fuck am I here? Could somebody tell me why I'm here? Anybody? Anybody got a good reason for me not moving into the Four Queens on Fremont Street for a fucking month? Have I covered Dana firing 100 fighters? No. I have not. I did not hear that. Let me look into that. That's fucking bonkers. Would I do that Asian broad? Dude, I'd fuck you. I'll fuck anybody. Why not? What do I give a shit? I'll stick my dick in you as you're insulting me. Give a fuck. Medical center says employee intentionally removed 57 vials of vaccine. Oh boy, people are stealing vaccines now. New York man hospitalized with COVID after attending GOP club's COVID conga line. A video of celebrants dancing without masks indoor holiday bash went viral earlier this month. Who is this? I got to look at this Dana White thing, but I did not hear about the conga. Did you hear about the COVID conga party line? The fuck is wrong with people? GOP club's COVID conga line party. I got a call for a gig tomorrow. A buddy of mine called me, said, "You want this gig?" I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." I called the woman like 5 minutes after. She's like, "Oh, I already found somebody." So there's other magicians that are out there doing gigs too. I didn't really want it. It was a different situation than in the last nightmare though, so I would have taken it. Let's see. I wasn't on the conga line. I ate by myself. I don't know how I got this. Well, so there was still more than a dozen people were in a conga line without masks. It says without social distancing. Of course, there's no social. It's a conga line, of course. How do you social distance in a conga line? This looks like already the worst fucking party. Oh my god. I don't want to play the music and get taken off. Look at these fucking oof. What a bunch of douchebags. Oof. Oh my god. Anybody else getting douche chills like never before? Holy fuck. I should if I ever have a hard on and I got to take a leak and I'm trying to figure out like how do I get this hard on to go down? Cuz I really want to take a piss, but it's just really hard. I'll just put this video on. This will kill any fucking Woody I have. Holy fuck. If you guys ever want to last with a woman, if that's a problem for you, I actually have the opposite problem. It takes me forever to get off, but if you have the problem where you come too quickly, just put this on and just watch this while you bang her. You could never, it would be impossible to come during this. It looks like an episode of The Office. Oh boy, that's about as white as you can get. Even though there's a black guy there, I give you that. This is still very white. There's a couple of black people. There's an Asian. Is that an Asian? I'm not sure that's an Asian. It might have just been plastic surgery. The fuck? So, okay, let me try to find I had no idea Dana fired 100 fighters. I was thinking about getting into handicapping the UFC. I feel like it's maybe low-hanging fruit, maybe. I could be wrong. We have more than 10,000 deaths in LA County. Woohoo! That's a record. We're kicking ass here. We're coming for you, New York. Editorial, punish those who jump the COVID vaccine line. Doctors seeing small number of COVID patients affected by extreme psychotic symptoms. Jesus. This guy was hospitalized for COVID, then hospitalized again and again. Oh, boy. Hollywood productions shut down again as LA COVID cases soar. I'm going to have to do a search. Let's see. What we got? Stiffjab.com. Let's take a look. Wow, he fired John Fitch. Dr. Octagon, JD. Stiff Jab. Cut Jacob Volkman, 14 other fighters. Win or lose, just don't be boring. You said 100 fighters. This said John Fitch, Volkman, and 14 others. There's a common narrative in the MMA press. UFC cares more about entertainment and pay-per-view buys than staging the most competitive fights. UFC's increasingly been making title fights featuring popular fighters than the best contender in a given weight class, like John Jones fighting Chael Sonnen, GSP fighting Nick Diaz. The Jones-Sonnen matchup mainly seems calculated to renew interest in The Ultimate Fighter, which had been a spectacular success. Jones has more or less cleaned out the light heavyweight division. Only one left is really Dan Henderson, who was hurt at the time of the show's taping. He's fighting Lyoto Machida. GSP fight is insane. Is this an old article? This is from 2013. That's really fucking funny. That shows how stupid I am. Oh, that's old. John Fitch was released 9 years ago. Dude, I was looking at this. I'm going, John Fitch. I thought, when I saw it, I thought they meant like as a trainer or something. When I read it, I was like, include. And then I'm looking at GSP Nate Diaz. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I see the chat. Oh, that's fucking funny, dude. That's hilarious. Let's see. Me too. Let's see. UFC will cut 60 fighters from very inflated roster before the end of 2020. That was 3 weeks ago. So he said before, there's got to be something newer, right? Well, it says before the end of, you said 100 fighters. And this one, that article is 3 weeks ago. If he's going to do it before the end of 2020, well, happy New Year's Eve, everybody. If he's going to do it before, maybe there's something newer, is what I'm saying. Maybe. Don't know. This is from the Daily Mail or some shit. So is there a list of everybody who's been cut? Well, I guess a lot of them could go to Bellator, eh? They dropped Yoel Romero. 117 women, 607 men. Boopity boop boop. Oh, man, I just wish there was more pop-ups on all these websites. I just wish all websites had more pop-ups. I hate a clean website that's easy to read. That just gives you, what I like is a lot of clutter, videos starting, pop-ups happening. That's what I like. It's beautiful. A lot of times the content on some websites, the content gets in the way of, of reading of the ads, and I hate that. I hate when the content gets in the way of the ads. Where's is there a list though? I can't find a fucking list. Whatever. How about a search for that? Let's see. List of UFC. List of oops. Rumble Johnson was let go. Here's December 10th. December 14th. Let's see. UFC, all the fighters. All right, here we go. Sportskeeda. There we go. Okay, Yoel Romero. Who else? All right, here we go. Anderson Sylvan. Austin Springer. Ben Saunders. Ben Saunders is a good friend of mine. I love Ben. Bevan Lewis, Brad Katana, Braden Davis, Calvin Potter, Corey Anderson, Cyril Asker, Daniel Spitz, a lot of these people I don't know, I have to admit. Evan Dunham, I know him, obviously. Let's see. Wow, Henry Cejudo. Wow. James Vick. He can just go back to playing football, I guess. Just stay out of the dogfighting game. John Dodson, John Gunther, a lot of Johns. Man, not a good time to be a John or a Juan, which is just John in Espanol. Kalindra, is that a woman? I was going to say, there's many women cut. Matt Wyman. Look at this list. This is crazy. Mark De La Rosa. Martin Bravo. Well, the only person I know the only one on this list I know personally is, it's in alphabetical order. I just realized that. I'm fun, huh? Come on, who's more fun than me? Ben Saunders is the only one on this list I know personally. My other friends, Kelvin Gastelum, he's not on this list. Alan Joban, he's not on the list. So that's cool, man. Yes, Ben's from your neck of the woods, Fort Lauderdale. He's an Orlando guy for sure. As a matter of, but I know him from out here. I've trained with him a bunch, and the one of the running jokes with him was with just Eddie in general was that whenever I would go, oh man, you're from Orlando. He'd be like, you say that, Eddie'd be like, you say that to anybody from Florida. You're like, oh, you're from Miami. Like, I remember my Florida people, man. But yeah, he's a Orlando guy. But I met him out here. Great dude. Love Ben. All right. What else? Let's take a look at that video I played with the this woman here. Let's see what the comments are. ICU nurse in LA says hospitals running out of essential sedation medications. Jesus Christ. They're turning away ambulances, running out of oxygen. Jeez. I was in a car accident 6 years ago. I died, was resuscitated in the ambulance, brought to an ICU for surgery, put in a coma for 3 days. Under this protocol, I'd have been pronounced dead at the scene. That had been it for me. It's terrifying for everyone. Yep, pretty terrifying. I love how everybody wants to blame Trump. Give me a break. He's a piece of garbage, but please. There's someone saying, yes, shit's bad, but maybe not trust a TikTok source. It's a good point. Why is this announcement coming from an RN's TikTok account based on a resident's Twitter account? It's actually a policy that's been announced to someone. Yeah, who knows if she's telling the truth? My sister told me this on Christmas Day. Angelina, same with road accidents. Car, bike, pedestrian. You have to get yourself there. They're still doing emergency surgery. Son had an appendectomy on Tuesday at UCLA, but he has to get a ride to the ER. Had to get a ride. Oh, man. This is. Doesn't it seem like I should be getting the fuck out of here, guys? Seriously. What about. Come on. The fuck is going on here? Are you really going to take that long? Or did I not? Is it me? Is it you? Who is it? In other words, if there's no fucking. Why aren't you in Florida? We'd be like, what pandemic? Well, that's what I'm saying. I got a free place to stay in Florida. I could go stay with my brother. I got a nephew. I want to teach him how to play chess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I may get in my car and gamble full time from here to Florida. In other words, drive from here to Florida and just gamble along the way. I'll make a route of all the casinos where all the best blackjack is available, and I'll hit those spots. And then, places that don't have blackjack, I'll play poker. And I'll just play the best blackjack available, the best poker available from here to Florida, and then just stay with my fucking brother. If they all leave, though, you're going to get paid out there when it's all over. If they all leave, though, you're going to get paid out there when it's all over. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. Fuck. I'm getting real fucking close to doing that. I'm not even kidding. Because, fuck. That'd be good content, too. I'll vlog the whole fucking thing. I'll give you guys a daily report. I'll be like, all right, I just got kicked out of such and such casino, but I had a $3,700 win back in the car. I was planning on spending the night tonight at a hotel, but since I got backed off in an hour and a half and I'm wide awake, fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and drive a few hundred miles to this other hotel and then hit a couple places there the next day. It'll be great. Staying in Cali will be a commodity if all the comics are. Oh, I'm not moving out, Dub Style. I just mean while things are shut down. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm not leaving. First of all, I'm not leaving until I get my black belt. Long before COVID, years ago, when I was doing Eddie Bravo radio, I was bitching about California. And Eddie's like, why do you stay here? I'm like, why do you think, dummy? Fucking, he's like, for you. For jiu-jitsu, I want to get my black belt from you. And he's like, and so but there's other things too, though. I have all my friends here. I've lived here over 20 years. This is my home. I'm not moving out of California. I'm not leaving. I think it's going to get worse than it already is. But eventually this fucking pendulum's like a drug addict, like a heroin addict. This place has got to hit rock bottom, and then it's going to turn around. I don't know how, but somehow it's going to fucking wake up. Right now it's getting woke and going broke. All kinds of insane laws have been passed here, reparations, and all kinds of other nonsense. It's fucking, it's they're making it requirement for, like, I think school teachers to take a thing that teaches them all about white privilege. It's a goddamn nightmare out here. But I'm sticking around. The short time, there's nothing to do, bro. Nothing is open. There's nothing to do. There's no one to see. The fucking, so what I'm saying is, why not for the next, you know, how long would it take me to drive from here to Florida if I played along the way? Probably a couple of weeks, right? If I'm stopping in a different casino, multiple casinos a night sometimes, and with the assumption I'm going to get booted out, I mean, knowing I'm going to fucking get backed off, so that's just going to be part of the deal. I'll go there, I'll burn the fucking place down, and then I'll be like, all right, on to the next one. And I'll do that from here to Florida. When I get to Florida, I can at least hang out with my little 8-year-old nephew and my brother. I could teach him to play chess. We could play video games. I could go to my brother's fucking gigs or whatever he's doing. I could be around friends and family. And then when shit opens up here, it's my birthday in March. I could be there for my birthday. And then when stuff opens up again, I simply just, go, oh, it looks like things are opening. It's April, and it looks like things are opening in California. All right, this was a nice 4-month, time with my brother and nephew. And I'll drive back. And I'll drive back and I'll do the exact same thing the other direction, but I'll hit a bunch of different casinos. And if things are open out here, that means I can come back here and I could stop counting cards and just play poker and just go to the Commerce or the Bike or the Hollywood Park or the Hawaiian Gardens or wherever. All fucking hunky dory. But my plan for the future essentially includes, I may build another, I may put up a website where I specifically teach sales and marketing and use an affiliate model for it, where I'm just building a list and offering affiliate products and some of my own products. I'm going to try to get that as systemized and automated as I can. They'll let you die to move in another patient. But I think I could work on that. And then my YouTube channel is fucking growing. By the way, Dub Style, did you see my last video? I hit it out of the park, buddy. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you were nice enough to go there and hit the thumbs up button like a mensch, but it's my second most popular video of all time, and I got some new subscribers. Tell you an interesting thing about this video is Proud Boys video. What are you talking about? I didn't make a Proud Boys video. I have no idea what you're talking about. That's funny, but I did not make a private. Good attempt at a troll, though. But when I uploaded this video, I uploaded it and refreshed, and immediately it had like 18 views. I was like, what? I just uploaded it like 5 seconds ago. And I was like, we may have a good fish on the line. And so it turned out I did. And then it's funny, I had 554 subscribers. And I'm like, let's see how. And then I went and did something, ate, showered, whatever the fuck I did. Came back and yeah, the views were rolling in. I'm like, fuck yeah. Did I get any new subs yet? And then I look and I lost a subscriber. I went from 554 to 553. I'm like, really? This video's killing it. Then by the time I woke up the next day, it had a lot more views. And then I gained subscribers. Now I'm up to 562. So if you're a new viewer because of that video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the little notification bell, hit all, and you'll know when I upload new videos and when I go live. Of course, if you want to support me, go to zachwaldman.com/fans. You can join the Zach Waldman fan club. I'll teach you some magic tricks, some easy to do bar bets to win yourself some free drinks. And even if you don't become and you get exclusive uncensored content, of course, but even if you don't become a member, there's free things you can do on that page to support me. So go to zachwaldman.com/fans and learn more. So anyway, I'm up to 562 now. And the video's got 3,200 views now. So it's my, the only video that's done better was the Chris D'Elia one, which I don't know how many that has anymore. I haven't looked. Probably like 23,000 or something like that. I could take a gander for the heck of it. I did have a video once years ago that got like 10,000 views or something like that, but yeah, my Chris D'Elia one's got 21,000. In retrospect, maybe they were legit views. I felt like my video was embedded on some website and that website got a lot of views and they counted as views on my video. And I don't know. I was always suspicious about that particular video. It was years ago. And nothing happened to Chris D'Elia. This is old news now. That news is like 9 months old now. I just did a video about him being innocent when everybody was shitting on him. I was the first and one of the only still now to defend him. When everybody was accusing him of all that nonsense, I made a video with, there was one person I saw made a video before me, but he just reported on it. And it was like a 2-minute long video of talking about Chris D'Elia being canceled. And as far as I know, I was the very next video up. And I defended him, and I still defend him. But that video, there was no update. I didn't do an update on Chris D'Elia. Just saying, Chris D'Elia, that video I made was the most popular one until the new video I uploaded, which is the one that I just uploaded, the one about Jimmy Galligan. That's up to 3,200 views. Yeah. So my Jimmy Galligan video, if you haven't seen it, hit the thumbs up button on it for me. I would appreciate it, Frank May. All right, I've been casting for a fucking long time. I appreciate all the thumbs up. Thank you guys for sticking with me and hanging. My voice, though, is getting raspy. I think it's because I'm smoking this cheap-ass weed. It's pretty good, but it's cheap, and it's a little harsh. I'm not going to lie. I have no ideas. I have no updates on Chris D'Elia. I feel bad for him, and I feel really bad for Brian Callen. I think they were both railroaded, and I think it's bullshit. And at some point, we're going to need more people to stand up against cancel culture. Maybe next time. I just don't have any updates, brother. If I had an update, I would tell you. I would tell you right now if I had one. But I don't have any updates. Anything else? Anybody? Anything else from anybody? We all good? Everybody cool? I appreciate all of you. I really do. These small victories of having a video get a bunch of views and gaining subscribers, it's like, all right, every fucking time you make a video, it's like fucking writing a hit song. You never know. Dub Style is so mean. He's just not a nice person. Why are you such an angry, mean, bad person? Hateful. Doesn't contribute anything, just hate. Just tears down, doesn't build, doesn't construct. He's saving for a sailboat. But what he doesn't understand is before he can sail, he must have wind. And not just hot air. That's some Zen shit for you. That's for free. I don't charge for my Zen advice. I hand out my Zen advice for free. All right, guys. But thanks for watching for reals. And blob diddy blah, blob diddy blob diddy blah. I'm dying. I'm serious about going on the road and driving to Florida. Pretty sure it seems like a good idea. I don't know. Seems like doing anything to get the fuck out of this city seems like a good idea. Maybe Vegas is far enough. You know, maybe I just go to Vegas, and if I get kicked out of a few spots, so what? I just won't get kicked out of whatever hotel I'm staying in. I'll make sure whatever hotel let's say I stay at the Four Queens, I'll just fucking play video poker there. And I won't do anything else. I won't fucking do anything that'll piss him off. And so then I'll go to other casinos. I'll go to the fucking wherever there's some good games, and I'll go rape those games, and then they'll kick me out. What do I give a fuck? I got the Four Queens. You can always just go stay there. Maybe I'm always very extreme in my behavior. You know, my immediate thought is get in the car and go full-time gambling from here to Florida and stay with my brother till things are safe here. But there is an in-between. The in-between would be just drive 3.5, well, it's more than that. See, it's 4 hours, just over 4, like with under good, see, it's never 4 hours though. I always go when there's no traffic, but I also like to have fun when I drive to Vegas. So I'll stop and eat and I'll do stuff. I never get, people hate that drive. I love it. Point is, I drive out there 5 hours away and I could just, that way if I need to come home for something or if I got a gig or I just want to check on my place or whatever, I could be close enough. I don't know, man. Either that or I could just bang my head on the wall. There's always that option. Well, if you want to see me bang my head on the wall. Oh, hey, let me ask you this. Anybody want to take this bet? I got a bet for you if anybody's game. I got a buddy of mine, my pal Lou. He's talking about my hair, and he was saying that if I, didn't cut my hair, he doesn't think it would grow out to look like it used to look. Here, if you don't know what it used to look like, I'll show you. There we go. This is a good example. Where is this being hosted? Now that I think about it. Come on, you piece of shit. Suspicious. Not okay. Well, you'll be able to see it. This right here. It's a little squished on your screen, but that I'd love to know where that's being hosted. But yeah. So anyway, I said my hair will absolutely, I can absolutely grow my hair out like that again. And my buddy doesn't think I can. And he said, no, you've been cutting it short for too long. It won't grow out like that. I said, you're absolutely insane. You don't, cutting your hair has no effect on how it grows. Doesn't matter what you do at the end of your hair. Cutting the end of your hair doesn't do anything to how fast it grows or how it grows. Anyway, he said, well, I'll bet you that you can't grow it out like that again. Within 8 months, he said. I think it should be 9, but whatever. Let's say 8 months. Maybe we could split the difference at 8.5. But I think absolutely my hair will grow out like that again. But he only wants to put up $125. And I'm like, after I win, what do I get? What's my fucking prize? A haircut? The fucking guy that cuts my hair charges $80. I'm going to tip him $20. That's $100. And big deal. I made $25 for growing my hair out like that. I said, let's do like, $1,000. No. Well, okay, let's do $500 then. I'm not doing it for $125. Let's do it for something that matters. Nope. 125. Anyway, if one of you wants to exactly dub style, 125 ain't enough to look like half eggplant. So if somebody wants to put up 1,500, I'll do it. Because that'll cover, at least that covers, let's do 1,600. So I could say a month's rent. If we do 1,600, that's 1 month's rent. I'll grow my hair like that. But, whatever. Ah, fuck. I know I'm starved for entertainment. I know that much. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. I do appreciate you all. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the little thing that says all. Go to ZachWaldman.com/fans. Have a very happy and safe New Year. Don't be a douche. Dubstyle being nice. Hey, peace out to you, brother. And listen, don't be a douche. Don't get shit-faced and drive. New Year's Eve is amateur night. Professional drunks. First of all, professional drunks drink and drive at a high level. It's the amateurs that drink too much and ruin people's lives by crashing into them and killing them. And they ruin their own lives. They ruin their families' lives. You don't want to be one of those people. So just on New Year's Eve, just know it's amateur night. Don't be an amateur. Stay home. Drink for free at home. And fucking play video games. I'm telling you. Fucking assholes. Everything's going to suck on January 1st anyway. So have a happy New Year. Do that. Please, for the love of God, don't be a New Year's Eve douchebag. All right. I want all of you alive when I see you after the New Year. So have a happy New Year. I love you all more than chocolate cake. As always, I'm going to play you out with a little Reverend Carl. And that's the way we do it here. Blobdity blah, blobdity blah. See you soon, guys.
It's 2 a.m., 14 below, it's closed.
My work is done, but I'm feeling low, and I wanna play the night away, the night away. I can't stand to be alone. I gotta bring over some people to fill up my empty home. Yes, I do. Yes, I do now. I'm having a party, having a party, having a party. I'm having a party, people. And a party, people. Well, well, well. Put out the word to the chosen few. I got the SMC, my friends. Bring your choice of brews, your choice of brews. The buzz is on and the mood is set. The candles burn as the turntables turn by the TV set. Yes, they do. Yes, they do now. Having a party, having a party, having a party, having a party, people, having a party, people, and everybody's getting down now. Party people, having a party, having a party, having a party, people, the party people. Well, well, the monster man is feeling smooth. While in the mirror he's busting moves till he finds his groove, till he finds his groove. A Johnny Poet is feeling numb. He's gonna drink until the sunlight comes out to play. He's always running away. Where are your shoes today now? Having a party, having a party, having a party. We having a party, people. Party people, and everybody's getting down now. Party people, having a party, having a party. We having a party people, and a party people. Having plenty fun. He's been drinking them 21s like they're going out of style. A jungleberry scabbing tails. He'll smoke all the weed you have if you let him away with it. Let him away with it. Let him away with it. Away with it. Away with it now. Having a party. Having a party. Having a party. We having a party. Dressed in plain, he'd like to bop the night away, cause he's come a long way from that Ventura County. Girly girl by the telephone, she's been waiting on a man to call so she can share her love, share her love.